Hi, my name is Pete D'Amato, and I'm the data visualization developer at the Hechinger Report. In my first tutorial, I walked through the College Scorecard online tool. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to download and use the raw data that powers the tool. The College Scorecard project has amassed data from institutions of higher education relating to costs, financial aid, student loan debt, and earnings of graduates. While the online tool allows users to look up data on institutions from the most recent data release, the Department of Education makes more granular data available for the universe of institutions in the scorecard going back to the 1996-97 academic year. The data we are going to look at in this video on median annual earnings by field of study covers students who completed college in 2015-16 or 2016-17, and the data was measured over academic years 2017-18 and 2018-19. From the College Scorecard site, you can find the data by going to About the Data and clicking the button that redirects you to the Department of Education's data portal. The landing page will give you some details about the dataset and some documentation about how to use the data. We're going to download the zip file called Most Recent Data by Field of Study. And while we're here, we're also going to grab the College Scorecard Data Dictionary. While the most recent institution-level dataset has different data on earnings, the one we are downloading matches what is currently shown for institutions on the College Scorecard tool. We're going to use Excel to analyze this dataset, but you can use any analysis tool that handles CSV files. There are just under 6,000 public, private, and for-profit colleges and universities in this dataset. The dataset actually contains data from hundreds of foreign institutions of higher education from cases where students have taken out federal loans to pay for degrees overseas. If you're familiar with IPEDS, another data portal operated by the Department of Education, you might recognize the unit ID, the identifier used at the campus level. OPE-ID is the identifier used by the Office of Post-Secondary Education for institutions. Different campuses of the same college or university will share the same OPE-ID 6 number. For instance, the University of Connecticut's various campuses will use the same OPE-ID number, but different unit ID numbers to differentiate data from different campuses. There's a lot of data on student loan debt broken down by field of study in this dataset, but what we're focusing on here relates to post-graduation employment and earnings. That's contained in 8 columns here. The variables here give you data on how many graduates that are not enrolled in another educational program are unemployed and how many are working. They also say how many employed graduates earn more than 1.5 times the household poverty threshold, and finally, the median annual income of graduates for each field of study. The 4 variables here show the data measured 1 year after students completed their credential, and the next 4 show the data measured after 2 years. It's the year 2 data that is displayed in the College Scorecard tool. To get a taste of what we can do with this data, we're just going to focus on graduates who have earned a bachelor's degree in a single field of study. In this case, we have already isolated civil engineering. Looking at the median annual salary after 2 years, and then sorting it, we can see the highest medians at Santa Clara University, San Jose State, and Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken, New Jersey. The 5 lowest median salaries are at universities in Puerto Rico, followed by Alabama A&M University. It's important to remember that only students who receive federal financial aid, such as loans or grants, are included. To protect against disclosing identifying information, the Department of Education suppresses data in cases where the sample size is small. These null values should be contextualized in any data analysis you do involving the entirety of the College Scorecard universe. If you are tripped up by any of the variable names, you can consult the data dictionary, which we also downloaded. This will explain the meaning of all of the names of the variables, as well as give you the source of the data that we see. In the case of earnings data, the figures for each institution are pulled from individual tax filings with the IRS and provided by the Department of Treasury. This covers a basic introduction on how to download and utilize the raw data for College Scorecard. Thank you very much for watching.